sometimes I actually blame myself for your horrifying, um, murderously deranged distortions of what you were told. It's just, yeah, just there's not a point to tell you things anything else because it's always going to be that. So, like, are some of you telling yourselves that your children are going to be saved by holocausting and murdering me? Because they're going to learn to care and shed a tear, and then they'll be human beings. Profound morbid mental insanity. Just beyond Jeffrey Dahmer, because I studied Jeffrey Dahmer, and God tells me things beyond Jeffrey Dahmer. Level of profound morbid insanity. They don't have the brain I have or the psyche. You can't make your children human beings. Okay, mimicry is over. I explained that to you because of the level of horror that you're putting me through. None of your children are human beings. They can't be. They'd be in a perpetual state of horror and screaming. They would have all committed suicide already. Like all those people that killed themselves with fentanyl and stuff that weren't cancer deaths. Okay, that's what you do to a human being. Okay, and the fact that your children don't run away from you in horror should tell you something. They're not human beings. So God was explaining to me about your news people this morning, and it's like what psychopaths do. So if you do that behavior, just if you wanted a diagnosis, it's psychopathy. Because you're in a constant sort of upset, like a little tiny child, but you don't like emotion, so everything is a rage. You turn everything into a rage, and then you try to do pretending acts where you pretend that you're happy and you know that you're bothering other people and stuff by what you're doing, not you're actually happy. So as your situation becomes more dire and obvious, like you know you've done a horrifyingly bad thing and you're just going to keep running around doing what you're doing because now it's far too late. There's no way you can fix it. Number one, don't have children anymore. The house is long gone. And because you can't be wrong, you're never going to fix that simple mistake. So God has to fix it by extincting you. Like, you ever see that film, Dead Man Walking? Right, like that person had to just accept that that person couldn't, quote unquote, be saved, could never change or be saved. So it's a blessing when God puts you down because you live in a constant horror within your own heads. So there's only so long that an all-loving God is going to make me stay alive in this cycle of life because of what you're doing. It's just so horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I'm not an animal. I don't just sit around. And plus, you won't even put me in housing because you're so fucking deranged. And you know that I'll be able to cook and walk and do my stuff and be happy and have a husband and stuff. It's just, you're so miserable that you can't stand my happiness and my optimism and my resilience. So you had to put a stop to it. It's been 2 years of it now. It'll be 2 years in April. Not I got old. Nope. Not I got old. Not I got depressed. Not it's Brian's fault. You forced me out of another house in High Park. You took away the bed in the shelter. Not I just left the shelter. You tried to force me to sit up in a chair all night long to blow up my abdomen because you're horrifyingly deranged. You're unhappy within yourselves and you notice everybody, and you're monkeys who think a person isn't supposed to walk. You think that's a disease. I smoke because you won't let me walk, and I'm still being driven mad by it. I'm never going to be you. Wouldn't matter what age I was, I'd have to be put down. I'd have to be medicated. I'm not in menopause and that's what's causing it, or Brian's making me unhappy. None of that is true. It's you people doing it, and you're doing it purposely. And I'm letting you know again that God knows you're doing it purposely. You're not hiding it from God. You don't have 10,000 facets of your government and other people's fault and blame shifting. That's morbidly insane, and that's why you could never save yourselves. You have no personal responsibility, and you actually think that you can hide from God and trick God about your own thoughts. And I'm telling you that He tells me what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because I'm a prophet, I'm the Virgin Mother. 529. He tells me, not I just know it. You're so far gone, just basic things that I explained to you about what age people start walking, why you would keep producing children when you have a mass overpopulation, why you won't stop polluting and killing yourselves. You were given an exact date, given prophecy and pages of science, and you still try to go to doctors and kill me. You're profoundly insane. That's why people used to pray for the prophet to ask God for some kind of treatment. That is why they did it. And you just keep trying to murder me and go somewhere else. You're not getting any treatments. I explained the treatment is your death, and that solves all the problems on planet Earth. You encroached on my habitat. I'm not your species. I don't assimilate into your community. I'm not a primate. I'm a human being. You don't know what a human being is. You're not human beings. Almighty God describes what a human being is in the Holy Bible. The Bible was not written by prophets. It was written by Almighty God through prophets. Just like an exact given prophecy. Not prophets wrote it. And that's just what we think. You don't think, you process information like artificial intelligence. Life has no special meaning but to live it, and you're preventing me from living it, so there's not a reason for me to stay in this physical form anymore. I gave you all the information you needed. It's just been nothing, honestly, since about 2013, but tormenting me to death. Not you're getting any information, all that's a bunch of nonsense too. It's part of your delusion. You were given causes for your illnesses, and then you ignore it and keep trying to cure your illnesses. So, for the sake of humanity, Almighty God has to get rid of you so that my species can survive. You murder every single one of my species just like you're doing to me. And you hate every single one of my species. No, Jesus could come here, you would just murder him instantaneously with a burning hatred like you have for me. Honestly, every time you're showing all these babies being born, it should put you more into despair. Your problem is overpopulation and pollution. You shouldn't be embracing more breeding, but you do. Breeding like that can't save you. There's no more earth for you to expand onto. You've polluted it all and you're killing yourselves. So, logic has no reasoning in an animal's mind. Do not give pizza fables. That's all fable fantasy shit that you people come up with. Like you're in a psychosis. This fucking thing. Hopefully that's not going to start a fire. I suppose I could pour a little coffee over it. Make sure it's not burning the leaves. Leaves burn right up. Yeah, no more probation. Today's the 16th. There never was a Corey. Nope. Good morning, babe. Oh, crap. Stuck in the doorknob. There we go. Pretty cold out. 36 tonight. Went over how you things were asked because I viewed the what do they call that? The Zoom, where you were asked if homeless people get a priority for your housing, and you told everybody no because you're profoundly morbidly insane. You just keep moving people that are housed around and producing more people and moving them into every single unit, and then you just keep other housing empty. I see the people walking around Harvard too, and that's why I asked you: Are you teaching your children to care? Is that why you're murdering people on the ground? Okay, that's not teaching them to care. You're teaching them that that's something that you do. That's why they're just numb to it. You could have 15 years ago taught them that you house homeless people by housing us. Right, creating suffering, and then that that teaches them to have emotions when their brains aren't capable of it. You're acting brutally insane because you're brutally insane, not you're teaching your children to not be brutally insane.